Today I review Captain Marvel and the Carol Corps issue 3, Last Days of AntMan issue 1, and SpiderWoman issue 10. Hello and welcome to the show with reviews. I'm Auram, and today is a very sad day. Well, technically it was Wednesday, but today is the day that SpiderWoman's first solo series, and who knows how long, comes to an end. I know she's picking right back up in a couple of months, but still, it's sad. Anyway, let's get started. First up is Captain Marvel and the Carol Corps issue 3, written by Kelly Sue DeConnick with art by David Lopez. This book has been hit or miss with me, and I know that might sound like blasphemy, seeing as how Kelly Sue's work on the character has been met with such high praise, but I think that actually may be the problem here. I didn't read any of the Captain Marvel stuff before this tie-in. In fact, I wasn't going to read this series, but so many people recommended it to me that I figured I would take a look. My one gripe with the series, and it actually isn't that present in this specific issue, is the saturation of characters. In issue 1, all of these characters are thrown at you immediately, and it seems like you're supposed to just get them all right off the bat. Again, this could be a side effect of me not having read the previous Captain Marvel stuff, but I think every series should stand on its own, especially when it's being tied into a completely different event. Don't get me wrong here, I don't hate the book, I'm just not having a lot of fun with it. Next up is The Last Days of AntMan #1, written by Nick Spencer with art by Ramon Rosales. This was not the book that I expected, but if I'm being honest, I don't really know what I expected. This one-shot is about, well, the last day that Scott Lang has on Earth, and it's actually surprisingly somber and holds a pretty good message. I really love what Spencer's been doing with Scott Lang ever since he started his new Ant-Man series, and this issue just kind of perfectly encapsulates the character developments that Spencer's given him. This issue also gives a very interesting perspective on the final incursion, seeing as Scott is a more small-time hero. It focuses more on the civilian aspect of things during the final incursion, and it may or may not have gotten some emotion out of me. Personally, I cannot wait to see what Nick Spencer has planned for Ant-Man going forward. I'm sure it'll be just as good, if not better, than this series, and that just makes me all the more excited. And finally is SpiderWoman issue 10, written by Dennis Hopeless with art by Natasha Bustos. This is it, ladies and gentlemen, the finale of my favorite superheroes solo series. And it hurts me to say this, but it's pretty underwhelming. The big problem I have with this issue is that it just doesn't feel like a finale for the series as a whole. Most of the last tie-ins have ended sweet and nice with closure and all, but this one just kinda leaves you hanging and wanting more. I do think this issue, as a normal issue, is perfectly fine. In fact, it's one of the better of the series. It just doesn't work well as a finale. The art is another thing I wanted to comment on, seeing as we have a guest artist for this issue. At first, I didn't really like the art. It just felt really cartoony and looked like it belonged more in a Disney/Pixar style comic, but as I turned the pages, it grew on me. I think this style lends itself to Jess and her book really well. I think I'm left with the same feeling that I had after the Ant-Man book. I'm just excited to see where she's going after Secret Wars. It also helps that she's apparently having a kid, so that's cool. But that's it for this week. This was a very somber week for me. Every book I read just kind of had a solemn tone to it, even Deadpool's Secret Wars. I'm not complaining though, somber stories like Old Man Logan and the like are always a hit with me. I guess they just click with my personality or something. That all being said, thank you so much for watching. Next time I remember to turn the fan off before filming. I'll do it, guys, don't you worry.